Hi traders, how you doing? Nathan here, having a look at a Aussie US dollar long position right around some key data that's come out. So I'm going to show you the data first of all. So you can see here we had the Aussie CPI data come out about 2 minutes ago, and the Aussie came out in line with expectation for the CPI increase of 0.8%. And you can see also that we've got our trimmed mean CPI actually came out better. So technically, I want to show you a setup that happened earlier in the day to give you an idea of trying to trade around news events so that are potentially coming out favored to be either more positive or negative, or the reality is you really don't know. So therefore, you've got to trade it with that in mind. So I'll show you my charts now. So I got into a long position on the Aussie here, and you can see this morning we had price come up on a 15-minute chart here, Aussie against US dollar. So you can see it's been putting in these higher bottoms, and I saw a trend line break right here just before the Tokyo Open around 10 o'clock this morning. And we had a break, we had our MACD cross up, this trend line break, and it held at this pivot. So that's the three-way punch combination that Duncan will teach you in the pivots webinar. So with that in mind, I've taken risk out of this trade. So I was only risking about 12 pips, and you can see here the news has come out positive, okay, on that Australian data. So realistically, from entry, I'm in a position where as the news is coming out, I'm already up 10 or 11 pips. So I'm in a position where I can get risk out. Now, if the news does become very volatile, it could come down and just take me out at break even. However, it has been a strong move up. The only thing I'm concerned about is this black line here. So I'm going to show you what that means. So let's zoom in on the daily just so we get a better understanding. So I'm looking at, you can see this previous support becoming resistance. We had a false break of it a day ago, but I'll just move in on my weekly chart now. So that's what I'm looking at. That weekly support, is that going to become resistance? Remember, the weekly trend is up. See the MACD's crossed up there. We go to the daily. The daily trend is up, okay? The daily trend has been up for some time. So what I'm going to do with risk out of this trade is, as it's running into this resistance, I'm going to keep an eye on it. So let's zoom back in on that 15-minute chart and have a better look. So at the moment, I wouldn't say it's failing at it. It's just running into some resistance here. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. I am going to take partial profits if I start to get a fail at this resistance level and then leave it at break even. If not, what is my next target on this particular trade? So let's go to our 4-hourly. And I'm going to be sort of squashing this in and saying, are we going to go all the way back up and potentially test this 68 or 62% retracement level on the fib? Or am I going to take the rest of the profit around this previous high, okay, which happened about a few days ago at around this 75 sort of 46 level. So we'll keep an eye on this trade. If the Aussie does decide to break out, then we're in a good position. If it fails here, I will get some profit out. And if not, we're at break even. So we've put ourselves in a position to take advantage of this trade. Let's see how it plays out. Hi traders, looking to take some profit on this Aussie US dollar trade. Let me just go through the rationale behind that for you now. So where we've entered down here, price came up and look what happened. We had our, that weekly and or daily resistance level. Price tried to get above it on that good news out of the Aussie, but look what's happened. It came back down. I waited for it. It bounced off this pivot. It's gone back up to the next pivot. Duncan will go through all of this in your webinars. And you can see at the moment, it seems a bit range bound up around resistance. So it's put in a higher bottom right up around that resistance. So at this stage, even though I've got risk out of the trade, I'm going to lock in this profit. So we were looking at profit at around 20 pips. We're only risking 10. That's a 2-for-1 trade. However, if we get priced to get above here and come down, I'll be looking for a setup above it in line with that strong trend. Plenty of other opportunities coming out as well. There were trade setups on that US dollar yen early this morning, and I'll go through that at a later stage. Have yourselves a great trading day.